Coming to you live and direct from the Newsfirst studio here in Colombo, Sri Lanka. This is your primetime news bulletin. A very good evening. I'm Shane Silva.
I'm Stephanie Lazarus. Before we head into the stories in detail, here's a look at the headlines for tonight.
Revelation by MP Hirunika Premachandra on special treatment for VIPs in prison. Second phase of the Gammada movement to uplift the lives of rural Sri Lankans for a better future launched today. Police launch operations against those who destruct the Vattamadu Reserve. A mother, father and their child shot dead in Ambalangoda. More revelations on those who steal public money.
Thieves! Thieves! Thieves!
Thousands gathered to pay last respects to India's Jayalalitha Jairam.
And on to your top story tonight, joining the debate on the expenditure head of the Minister of Prison Reforms, Rehabilitation, Resettlement and Hindu Religious Affairs, MP Hirunika Premachandra made some startling revelations on the issues surrounding prison hospitals.
Imprisoned politicians. There's no need to get riled up. I'm not going to mention any names. All of these prisoners are comfortably on hospital beds, unlimited food and unlimited guests. All this is being done with the full knowledge of the Prisons Commissioner. I met with the Prisons Commissioner recently. I asked him whether he knew that people like Dematakoda Chaminda and STF Sarath and using mobile phones in the prison and logging on to Facebook as well. He started to cry. What am I to do when a man in uniform begins to cry in front of me? I came back. Today there's a cell in the new magazine prison with a bed, an attached bathroom, mosquito nets, chairs, a TV and a fan. When politicians are sent to prisons, they are sent to this room. If you can go today and check this because it might not be there tomorrow. A parliamentarian was imprisoned recently. He had requested for a mattress, a pillow and a mosquito net. Why? What is wrong with him? There's something wrong with his testicles.
One
of his friends was also imprisoned. He had also requested for a mattress. This was a fair request because he has an issue with his neck. There was another MP who was sent to prison recently. He says he has a heart ailment. Now he's having a tough time proving it because the ECG machines do not show his ailment. Aman Sheikh, a leading drug smuggler and a Pakistani national, what is his disease? His weight does not match his height. That is why he is in prison hospital. There must be plenty of other prisoners who don't have perfect BMI. Are they also placed in prison hospital? You were in prison recently and those who gave me all these details told me that you were the only person who stood tall like a man. Aman Sheikh has brought down medical records from India. Can this be done? I will be tabling these documents as well. There's an individual with high blood pressure who needs to be on mattress. There's another individual who is bleeding from his anus. Such people are treated at the prison hospital for a day and sent back to their cells. These are innocent people who do not have money to spend. I need to speak about Duminda Silva, who was sentenced to death recently. I know this will hurt a lot of people. Prisoner number 419189, Duminda Silva. His diagnosis is completely false. The symptoms he is suffering from are chronic headaches, giddiness, loss of consciousness and loss of memory. His birthday was on the 3rd of December. Everyone from his family visited him and had fun with him.
Duminda Silva has submitted an appeal to the Supreme Court, so you cannot speak about him in this chamber.
එහෙම කිසි ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. ඔහු මරණ දඬුවම තාම දින හම්බෙලා නැහැ. අභියාචනාදී මම නඩුව ගන්න වෙන මෙතන කතා කරන්නේ. නඩුවක් කියන වෙලාවේ මම නඩුව ගන්න මෙතන කතා කරන්නේ. ඔහු සිරකරුවෙක්. ඔහුගේ තත්ත්වය ගැන කියන එක මට මේ අද දවසේ අදාළයි. ඒක අදාළයි මෙතනට. ඔබතුමාට ඔච්චර දඟලන්න හේතුවක් නැහැ. ඔබතුමා ඔච්චර කෑ ගහන්න හේතුවක් නැහැ. ඔබතුමාලගේ මුළු ආණ්ඩුවම ওই විදිහට වැටෙන්න එක පුද්ගලයෙක් තමයි එතුමා. ඒ හින්දා කඩ වහගෙන ඉන්න. ඔබතුමාලාද වැටලා ඉන්න ඔය වගේ මිනිස්සු ළඟදී යන් තිබු හින්දා.
Recently, a district judge went to visit him, Ayesha Shahabdeen. When this incident came to light, she was instructed to take paid leave. Duminda Silva killed my father, that is done. He's now in prison. He will be released if he wins the trial. I have no personal grudge against him now. There was a time like that, however, with maturity, and when he was punished, all that ended. However, if powerful people like him are not treated like regular prisoners, I call on the prison's commissioner, who might be listening, to change the placard in front of the prison. From all prisoners are humans to all wealthy prisoners are humans. I spoke to the president about this. The president told me to take some time and speak about this in parliament. I have done that. I told this to the Prime Minister. He says since he did not take a side, Hiru has been hammering him. Hiru is apparently hammering the PM, and he asks me, how do I side with the murderers? When I spoke about this with the Minister of Health, he asked me to give all these details to him, adding that some members of the GMOA are engaged in this. The officials say that we get orders from above to do this. However, no one knows about this. Is there anyone more powerful than the President, PM, Health Minister and the Minister of Prisons? Minister of Prisons, I hope that you will look into this. I have complete confidence in you. Investigate these issues and then temporarily suspend the services of Doctors Lakshman Jayamana and Malinda Vaniga Singha. There will be plenty of jailers and doctors who come to testify against them.
Thank you very much, Member of Parliament, for elucidating all these points. I am very thankful to you. This is exactly what is happening in the prisons. And this is exactly what the inquiry I am holding for.
Okay.
And these doctors who have given this documentation are not within my purview. They are under the Health Ministry. So I am sorry, I can't take any action on them. So the really Health Ministry is the one who can take the action.
Nihal Somavira, the chairman of the committee appointed by the President to look into the revision of traffic fines, said a report on the matter is to be forwarded to President Maithripala Sirisena within a month. However, Finance Minister Ravi Karunanayake, speaking during the Face the Nation program aired on TV1 last night, shared these views on the decision to increase traffic fines against specific offences.
Minister Karunanayake, interestingly, there was a Sri Lanka Freedom Party committee also who assisted your role as the Minister of Finance to formulate the budget. However, during the recent weeks, we saw one of the elements in your budget, which was increasing the traffic fine for 7 offences, 25,000 rupees, being challenged by the President himself. Is the government really united?
I don't think. I think you're taking it out of context. Well, if you can tell me that the President said so, because I must thank all parties for putting together a budget that was acceptable by all concerned. And it was not something which was brought in shroud of secrecy. It was something which was unanimously done, unitedly done, and unanimously adopted in order to give the benefits to the people.
So are you trying to say that the 25,000 rupee traffic fine that was imposed is still in effect? There is no change in it?
Now, if you can tell me where the President has said so,
because they said that he will appoint a committee to look into it.
No, there were areas where the fines were imposed to 10 to 15,000. Then there was a request that was made. Then we went back to cabinet and they said to make it 25,000. But in that process, there was one added thing that was done, overtaken on the left-hand side of it, which basically was something which they questioned because it was sometimes not possible to prove its actual happening. So they said that, look, that can be leading to unwarranted things. They wanted to relook at that. And this was mentioned well before. Then I would say, a more sabotage approach by a very small element of the opposition utilized the private buses of one faction and tries also even smaller faction, and they led I would say a very nasty campaign, and finally boomeranged on them because they went back. And the President discussed to say, we'll discuss your problems. and that doesn't in any way warrant a change. It was a democratic process which we have a consultation consensus approach.
So Minister, you are saying that 100% you are sure that this traffic fine that was imposed by you in the budget speech will be in effect?
Absolutely.
Convening a media briefing in Colombo today, the joint opposition expressed their views on the central bank bond transaction.
Since the daylight robbery at the central bank on the 28th of February 2015, the interest rate in Sri Lanka has been constantly climbing. The interest rate in the debt market has stood at between 50 and 66%. Importers and exporters are feeling the impact of the country's rising interest rates. The national debt burden has increased by 327 billion rupees because of the negative signal given by the 30-year bond bought over by perpetual treasuries at a 12.5% interest rate. The market interest rate began to climb.
A group of university students staged a protest once again in Colombo.
Students of the University of Visual and Performing Arts took to the streets today in protest over the 80% compulsory attendance structure. Students who began their protest march from the Faculty of Visual Arts assembled outside the Ministry of Higher Education to voice their opposition to the 80% compulsory attendance structure. The protest march inconvenienced the movement of traffic. The protest forced traffic to be restricted to one lane. Following a discussion with the Commission of the University Grants Commission, the students dispersed.
Speaking at the opening ceremony of the Sport Resort Island Development Project, Minister of Megapolis and Western Development, Partly Champika Ranawaka, commented on protests and demonstrations staged by various groups.
We have taken measures to build a transport centre with special facilities in Battaramulla next year. Certain people are attempting to use Battaramulla as a key area for protests and demonstrations. This has caused many difficulties to the administrative activities in the area. No one can oppose protest in a democratic country. The process of good governance does not mean bad management. It is not lawlessness or lack of authority that the public expects from Yahapalanaya. So we all should keep in mind that there needs to be a limit to all these protests and anti-democratic activities.
The second phase of the government, the 100-day movement, commenced today in a bid to provide solutions to the problems and hardships faced by our fellow brothers and sisters in rural Sri Lanka.
Phase 2 of the government, the 100-day movement, commenced today with 3 projects at 3 separate locations. Through the initial government, the 100-day initiative, we were able to complete a large number of projects based on public requests. However, Phase 2 of the government, the 100-day movement, will be undertaken together with government the Savia and the request of the general public.
Now the entire world knows about the government, the initiative. If more institutions like this are created, the country will flourish. No one from the government pays heed to our request.
Never were such roads or bridges constructed. They just repaired them from the outside and no solid job was done. We never thought that you would come to our village and look into our grievances.
The first project to commence under the government, the 100-day movement, Phase 2, was the construction of a bridge for the village of Kobeigane, Kurunagala.
Seeing the happy faces of the people when the projects are completed provides us with the strength we need. We will take every effort to ensure that this bridge is constructed under the required standards, and we will provide this village with a new bridge for the next year.
MAS Holdings joined hands with Newsfirst to construct this bridge, which was in a dilapidated state for a long period of time.
There is something special that we saw in Gammadda, that is the ability to identify the genuine problems of the people. Sirasa Newsfirst has launched this initiative with the aim of providing benefits to the entire nation. So we thought that this was the best time for MAS Holdings to join hands with Newsfirst and forge towards a common goal. There is no need to speak. There is no need to feel sorry about what hasn't been done. If there is something that we can do, we should get down to doing it. It is because we share these feelings that we have joined the Capital Maharaja organization.
The people of Kiran Akkurankulam in Batikalo were battered by wild elephant incursions for several years. Through the Gammadda 100-day movement, an electric elephant fence will be erected to ease the hardships they face.
Through this initiative, we hope to provide some sort of relief to the people and help their lives progress. That is why we launched phase 2 of the Gammadda 100 days movement in your village. The human-elephant conflict and poverty, they are linked. But we have the ability to change this. For that to take place, we need to improve facilities in villages. That is why the Sirasa Gammadda program has arrived here to protect your property and develop this village.
This project to construct an electric elephant fence in the Kiran village, which houses around 180 families, is aided by the Export Credit Insurance Corporation of Sri Lanka. The third project launched under the Gammadda 100-day movement is the construction of a maritime light tower for the fishermen in Totamuna Matara. Work on the solar-powered light tower, which will aid around 300 fishing families, began this afternoon.
Many fisheries harbours were built in the recent past. Maritime light towers were also built. But I don't know why no one came forward to solve this issue. But as you can see, there are people here to join hands with you.
A media briefing was held in Colombo today to create awareness on the National Anti-Corruption Summit, which is scheduled to be held later this month. The summit is being organised by the Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption together with the President's office. During the media briefing, journalists raised questions on the progress of investigations on fraud and corruption.
I do not like to directly tell you or hint you as to who will be the suspects in the future. That would be inappropriate. I can say one thing though. I carry my experiences on my shoulders to reach and maintain the highest standard of professionalism. I am making every effort to carry out these functions with the assistance of everyone. The Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption is looking into the details exposed by the media, COPE and parliamentary subcommittees. The activities have not been stopped. I believe that I cannot give you more details than I already have. We will hold a separate discussion for that. If needed, we can convene another discussion with the presence of the Auditor General. I wouldn't say there's a delay. The required process is underway. The delay may be at different levels.
You will
never be able to find an entirely clean and pure place in the world. If a person or a country has done something wrong in the past and has admitted that wrongdoing and is willing to make a change for the future, we respect that.
Massive crowds of grief-stricken supporters of India's southern Tamil Nadu state chief Jalalita Jairam converged in Chennai city to pay their last respects.
One of India's most influential and colourful politicians, Jairam Jayalalitha, better known as Amma to millions of her fans and followers in Tamil Nadu, passed away at the age of 68. The Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu suffered a heart attack on Sunday night and died at 11:30 p.m. local time in Chennai's Apollo Hospital. Many fear that the demise of Jairam Jayalalitha could spark unrest, given the extreme devotion she inspires among her supporters, many of whom refer to her as Amma. Hundreds of people gathered yesterday, and as the ambulance carrying her body emerged from the main gate, a cry went up as supporters jostled forward to try and get close to the vehicle, almost breaking the police line in the process. Meanwhile, Tamil Nadu Finance Minister and old Jayalalitha loyalist O. Pannirselvam took oath as the state's new Chief Minister at around 1:15 a.m. today. Pannirselvam placed Jayalalitha's photograph on the dais during the oath-taking ceremony, which happened even as Jayalalitha's body was still at the hospital. Thousands of supporters of J. Jayalalitha packed the massive grounds of Rajaji Hall, a public auditorium in Chennai, to get a final glimpse of their leader before she was buried at the Marina Beach next to the memorial of her mentor M.G. Ramachandran at 4:30 p.m. today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi landed in Chennai and flew to Rajaji Hall as massive crowds surged forward to get a glimpse of the Prime Minister as he paid his respects to Jayalalitha.
Tributes began to pour in for Jayalalitha as soon as her death was confirmed by Apollo Hospital, which had been treating her since the 22nd of September.
President Maithripala Sirisena expressed his condolences to the late Chief Minister Jayalalitha Jairam, saying that she was a leader dearly loved by her people, and expressed his condolences to her loved ones and the people of Tamil Nadu. Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa, expressing his condolences, stated that Jayalalitha had captured the hearts of India's Tamil community. Expressing grief at the demise of the stalwart of Tamil Nadu politics, President Pranab Mukherjee said, quote, "Heartfelt condolences on the sad demise of Ms. Jairam Jayalalitha, Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu," unquote.
Let's now take a brief look at the illustrious walk of life of the late former Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Jayalalitha Jairam, revered as the Iron Woman.
A former actress, Jayalalitha Jairam's career has been marked by a series of highs and lows. Head of the regional AIADMK party, she has been elected Chief Minister 4 times. She has alternated in power over most of this time with her great rival, 93-year-old M. Karunanidhi, leader of the DMK party. In most cases, Jayalalitha's lows have been followed by dramatic political comebacks in which she has been reinstated as Tamil Nadu Chief Minister. Jayalalitha's admirers say she has played a key role in the development of Tamil Nadu as one of India's most economically influential states. After completion of matriculation in 1964, she won a scholarship from the Government of India for higher studies but did not accept it as she took up a career in films. She is also the first woman leader of the opposition in the Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly and was elected from Andipatti Assembly constituency in February 2002 to become the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu.
Moving back to news from here at home, police recorded statements from the relatives of the 3 persons who were killed last night in Ambalangoda. Police suspect that a personal dispute has resulted in these killings.
The manner in which the individual was assaulted in a shop in Idamthota, Madampe on the 1st of October was captured by a CCTV camera installed in a shop in the vicinity. The individual later succumbed to his injuries. It is inside the same shop that a mother, father and their child was shot dead last night. Police said that the CCTV camera of the shop was inactive at the time of the incident. 2 individuals that had arrived on a motorcycle at around 9 p.m. last night had used a T-56 automatic weapon and a 9mm weapon to assassinate the shop owner, his wife and child. Shop owner Indika Soiza was 35 years old. Indika Soiza, his 27-year-old wife Devika Chandralata and their 4-year-old son succumbed to gunshot injuries. The magisterial inquiry of the incident was conducted by the Balapitiya Chief Magistrate R. Jayasuriya this morning. The bodies of the victims, which were kept in the Balapitiya Hospital, were later transferred to the Karapitiya Teaching Hospital for the post-mortem examinations. Several teams have begun investigations to apprehend the suspects. In 2016, 6 shootings recorded in the vicinity of the Ambalangoda police. 9 individuals reported dead. 10th January 2016, an individual shot dead in the Punnaduva area in Kuligoda. 10th February 2016, 2 persons shot opposite the Balapitiya Magistrate Court. 28th March 2016, a businessman killed in a shooting that took place in the Fisheries Harbour in Ambalangoda. 18th July 2016, businessman named Madhuwage Sarath shot dead in the Heenatiya area in Balapitiya while travelling in his bike. 12th August 2016, President of the Galle District Cricket Association Premasiri Halambage shot dead in the Manimulla area in Ambalangoda. The most recent incident reported was last night. Who are these armed criminals that roam free? For your attention.
Up next is Action TV.
The Wildlife Conservation Department initiated action last afternoon to put an end to the unlawful cultivations that were taking place for the past 2 years in the Watamatu grasslands in Ampara. These farmers engaged in this unlawful act had been acting with political blessings in blatant violation of a court order. The Wildlife Conservation Department had sought the assistance of the Tirukkovil, Puthuvil and Akkarepattu police stations in this regard. The Kalmune High Court had issued the order on the 1st of December 2014 preventing anyone from entering the Watamadu grasslands apart from the cattle belonging to dairy farmers. The task of executing this order had been vested with the Tirukkovil police. Although the encroaching paddy cultivators had appealed against the order of the Kalmune High Court in the Court of Appeal, the Court of Appeal upheld the order of the Kalmune High Court in its order that was issued on the 17th of December last year. As Action TV highlighted previously, the Watamadu grasslands was declared a protected area under a gazette order that was issued during the presidency of William Gopallava in 1976. With the declaration of the Wakmitiyawa Timbiligollava area as a forest reserve in October 2010, the Watamadu grasslands were brought under the purview of the Wildlife Conservation Department. Yesterday, Action TV highlighted how ineffective the Wildlife Conservation Department and the police have been in protecting this area since 2014. Although 11 unlawful cultivators were taken into custody in a raid that was carried out last afternoon, 10 of these cultivators were enlarged on bail when they were produced before court today. In the B report that was presented before court today by the Wildlife Conservation Department, the details of 34 alleged unlawful cultivators were provided. In raids that were carried out today, a further 8 cultivators were arrested. Among the items taken into custody by Wildlife Conservation Department officers were 8 tractors, 1 lorry and 5 motorbikes. It must be noted that the responsibility of enabling the close to 500 dairy farmers to access the 4,000-hectare Watamadu grasslands lies with the police. The heads of cattle, which number close to 100,000, are facing severe hardship due to a shortage of food.
Well, that's a wrap of Primetime News. I'm Stephanie Lazarus.
And I'm Shane Silva. Take care and good night.